So we are live, visionary parents. How are you doing today? If you are a visionary parent and you can see this video, please let me know you can see us, because I'm trying so hard to share. I actually want to share, but I'm not able to share. I want to share this video, view on YouTube, so that you can have the direct link to join. But I'm not sure why that function is not working today for us, for me. Can you still hear me?
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you, ma. I think she has gone off.
Yes, she has gone.
Okay, ma, I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know what happened. So I was trying to tell our audience, the visionary parent, that today you already know that we are reviewing the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teenagers. And sorry, it's 7 Habits of Highly Effective Families. You know, Steve Covey has 7 habits. He has for teenagers, he has for children, he has for, okay, not children, kids. Children, teenagers, 7 habits of highly effective teenagers, 7 habits of highly effective kids, 7 habits of highly effective families, 7 habits of highly effective people. And I would greatly recommend these books for you, for your children, for your teenagers, for your marriage, and for yourself. So today, because we are a parenting community, the Visionary Parents Academy, we are reviewing the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective Families. Now, one of the major lessons from this book for me is the fact that we are going to start with our lessons. And I'm not here alone. I'm here with Coach Angela. Angela, sorry if I can't pronounce your surname. I'm also here with Coach Adeola and of course Coach Jinadu. She's not here now, she will join us. Now, one of the major lessons I learned from this book, we'll start by sharing the lessons, the major lessons we learned from the book all together. So I'll share with you, one of the major lessons I learned from the book is that success, family success, family effectiveness, if I'm to use that word, is not based on, it's based on principles. It's not based on mood. It's not based on spontaneity. It's based on principles. That families that are effective, families that succeed, families that we see and we admire, They have principles they live by. They live by. They are not random. So it goes to show that anytime we see people succeeding, there are principles that guide them. They succeed because there is something they are doing and they are doing right. Sometimes we see people making success, and we just think it is what it is. It is what it is. No, it is not what it is. There is something that they may know that we don't know, or something that they may not even know they are doing. But somehow, because they have done that thing, it works for them. I remember one time a parent was telling me, a man was telling me that all this mentorship for children is just a way of collecting money from parents. I beg, it's not a big deal. After all, when he was a teenager, he wasn't mentored. He said something like that. And guess what? As we kept talking in the line of our conversation, he told me how they relocated from one state to another. When they got to the state, he met a certain group of boys. He joined them. They were playing rough. They were smoking. It was a village. They will steal chicken and then they will use it to cook rice, hide and eat it. He was having fun doing that until he met another group of young boys his age who were already in the university. Each time they return from school, they will talk about lecturers, they will talk about hostels, they will talk about what is it called? They will just talk about a lot of things. So he started becoming interested in that school life. That was how he gradually moved away from those friends who were, should I use the word, never do well, to this particular set of friends that shaped his life. And actually today he is grateful to those friends. And I told him, and I thought you said you were never mentored. You were never mentored. You said, nah, nothing about mentorship. So what happened? You don't know that God deliberately planted those people in your life. They were the ones that groomed you, shaped you to make better choices. So what he did not realize it was mentorship. He did not realize what happened to him. So what am I trying to say? Like the 7 habits of highly effective families, life success, life's effectiveness is based on principles. Sometimes some people don't realize the principles guiding their life. It doesn't mean that they are not principled. They are based on principles. That is one of the lessons I actually learned from the book. So let's hear Coach Angela. You want to tell us the lesson you learned from the book? The overall lesson.
Thank you very much for this privilege. First and foremost, one of the lessons I learned from this book, before now, I used
Is it my network or your network, ma?
I think it's our
Who
network.
can hear her? Oh gosh. Okay, Coach Jinandu, tell us what you learned. Let's move on. When her network comes back, we'll continue
All
from
right.
there.
All right. Thank you very much, ma. Good
Welcome.
evening, ma.
Good evening, ma. Welcome, ma.
The introductory part of the book talks about 3 purposes of this book. And that captures virtually everything that the book talks about. Number 1 is the destination. And from that book is about 3 things: the destination, the flight plan, and the compass. And what that means is that we must have a clear vision of where we are going as a family. It is something that we must spell out. It must be very, very clear. It shouldn't be an assumption. It should not just be a mere wish that is not known to everybody, because that's one of the things that most people will run our family with a vision that's only known maybe to the parents, and the children are not aware of it. And because of that, everybody just go their own way, doing different things, expecting that, and the parents will expect that they will end up at the same destination. Unfortunately, they won't. And having a plan, how you want to get to that destination, is very, very important for me. And one thing that stood out for me in the book is that we prioritize things that are important to us. And if your family is not one of those things that you create time for, it means that it's not your priority. But that's one of the things that stood out for me in the book. Prioritizing your family. Is it from the vision to the execution to how you want to get there? Is about priority. And when you look at all the habits, is about priority and is about principle. And just like we have always said at the Visionary Parents Academy, everything is about structure. So the book made it so clear that one must be able to have a clear vision. If one doesn't have a vision, then you don't know where you are going. So that's just one major lesson that I can't forget so soon from the book. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much for parenting with a vision, and that is all within the Visionary Parents Academy. You know, we want to parent with a vision. We start with our vision in mind and we work towards it. We just don't want to be random. We don't want to believe in luck, you know. We don't want to wake up tomorrow and start saying, God forbid. We parent with a vision. Thank you so much. It's also a very valid lesson. Yes. And it has taught me beyond parenting. So other things generally, you must have the end in mind. Whatever you are doing, you must always think of the end before you even start. Look at the possibilities, look at the things around you. The other day I was telling my teenagers in church, I told them to live backward, you know. And even when I posted it on Facebook, somebody thought I meant, oh, living backward as
Can
in
anybody hear me?
archaic.
Can
And I
anybody
said,
hear me?
no. What I mean by
The
living
next
backward, it simply means that you are going to start. Okay, thank you so much, man, for coming back.
the network.
Network
I don't
threw
know
you
what
out.
happened to
Sorry
the
about
network.
that. Yeah,
Oh, I'm
let's
so
go.
sorry. I don't. Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud
Yes,
and
ma'am.
clear, man.
Okay, okay. What I was saying that before now, I used to look at, I would just look at some family and say, how is this family? How are they able to? I would just see that maybe everything is just going on fine. Ah, they're able to show up, they're able to do this, they're able to do that. Sometimes I'm tempted in my heart, even though I know that it is wrong to compare.
Yeah.
I think the network is at it again.
Reason.
Our network is not.
But somehow,
Is there?
somehow, but some,
Go on, man.
I'm here.
Go
But
on, please.
somehow I feel tempted to say, how are these people coping? Now, the first lesson I learned from this book is that there are no two marriages or families that are the same. There are no two families or marriages that are the same. And so, for that reason, these principles, these 7 principles, no matter how the nature of the family may be, whether it's a single mother, whether it's a two-parent family, whether it's a blended family, no matter how the nature of the family may be, if we are able to apply these 7 principles, we are definitely going to have it work out for us. That was my number 1 lesson. Then another lesson I learned personally for me, when I was reading the book, I got to a place when I got to know that the man had 9 children. The man had 9 children. I was like, wow. So the man had
You know
nine
fire.
children.
You know fire.
I said 9 children,
You
and he
fire
applied
me.
this principle, and he still enjoyed his family. So, what kind of excuse will I say I have? Even though I say I have 5 children, I'll say, God, how can I manage these 4 boys I want to get? So, I'm like, really, I don't have excuse. Nobody should have excuse if we apply these 9 principles in relation to the way our families, the way they are unique to us, it will definitely work out. So that is another lesson that I learned. So that's just it. That's just it for me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man. You see that 9 children thing, man, the thing tired me. I'm like, seriously? I think there was a time I wanted to reset all these children to see how they are doing so that I can learn lessons from them. And funny enough, one of his children, what's his name? My children have 2 of the boys' books. 7, they
Sean,
have a couple, 2, I think 2 or so.
I
6,
think
Sean,
he told me.
Sean is his son. No, and frankly, or something like that. If my son
Okay.
was upset, he'd be able to give me the book. He has one of the books, six things you must know as a teenager, and then the other one, 7 habits of highly effective teenagers. They have it. It's his
Okay.
son that actually like taking after the father. And it's really very impressive. So it simply means that with 7 children, what we call the market, he was still able to do what he had to do. And no exhaustion. Yeah, there will be times definitely where things didn't go as planned, but then in all, being able to put all of them together, 7 children and 9 children, it wouldn't have been easy. Thank you so much, ma. Coach
Thank you,
Adiola,
ma'am.
your network is not stable. Okay, let's go. Now, the very first habit, we are moving on to the first habit. The first habit is be proactive. Be proactive. You know, it simply means I'm not summarizing, I'm just sharing lessons. So everyone will share lessons. Be proactive. It simply means that you should plan ahead. That is why in the Visionary Parents Academy, we are big on structure. We are big on the family constitution. It helps you plan ahead. You don't wait for things to happen before you respond to them. Because when things happen and you start responding to them, whether we like it or not, it's overwhelming, it's chaotic, it's a lot of bad energy. So habit number 1 says be proactive. Let share your lessons, please.
Okay, ma. There is one particular thing I noted. It says between stimulus and response, there is a space. In
God
that
bless you. I
space
have that one written down
lies
too.
in that space lies our freedom and power to choose our response. In our
Yes.
response lies our growth and our happiness.
Those are my first
And
lines as
Yes.
well.
so one thing about proactivity is just about how we are able to press our pause button.
Yeah.
Pressing your pause button before responding. And that means that in the process of pausing, you are able to reorganize your thoughts, reorganize your action, and what next you want to do. Because most of it, if we are not proactive in this sense, we'll be impulsive. And most of the
Yeah.
time, impulsivity will make us to regret our actions, of which we do not
Absolutely.
want to do. So it calls for us to be able to take time to plan ahead before we take action. And even when we even have actions that we need to take that looks like an impromptu, it is for us to be able to pause. And that's why at the Visionary Parents Academy, we used to talk about mastering our emotion. We talk about our emotions daily. How did we react? And it is for us to be able to be proactive about things, knowing fully well that there will be pressure, knowing fully
Yeah.
well that at times we can be stressed out. But in all of this, is for us to be able to take that pause button and relax a little before reacting or responding to situations, especially when it has to do with our family. We need to consider that for our children, if we want to respond to them every moment, we'll see that we'll do the unthinkable. But if we are able to pause before we respond, we'll be able to redirect our thoughts, reorganize our thoughts before we proceed. And under that proactivity, there is something I noted at the same time, that the way you treat any relationship in the family will eventually affect any relationship in the family. And that for me means that the way you treat one person is sending a message to other people how you will treat them. So today I was looking at a video. I saw a young children. Their mother was allowing a visitor to watch TV, and that gave those children. They have a rule: they don't watch TV when they are eating. But these guests wanted to do that, and because their mother allowed it, it became another issue, because those children came back and requested for it, and they started challenging. If you could allow this person, why not allow us? So which means that what the way we treat one person another person in the family will expect that that's how we are going to do, which means that if we are impulsive, of which most of the time is the reason why some children are withdrawn, is reason why they don't share some confidential things with us, is the reason why it takes them time to be able to tell us things that happens to them. Why? Because of the way we have responded at one point or the other. Let me pause and allow Coach Angela to share her thoughts.
Okay, thank you, Ma. Okay, in addition to what you have said, because your lines, that was actually also my first lines that I wrote down, that between stimulus and response, there is a space. So it therefore means that when we come, maybe as parents now, we go out and you are coming back, normally what you expect your children to do, as you are coming in, you discover that they didn't do what they were supposed to do. Like even the way it happened in my house this evening. Now I've been outside, coming back, I discovered some did their job, some did not do like that, or they did it halfway. So what will be my response? Should I, from as I'm entering, I will start raising my voice and start yelling and all of that? So I think that proactivity or that proactive is what, as the first principle, is what Stevie Covey was trying to teach us, that we should pause. There is a way we should wait. We should pause and before we respond. Most often than not, parents, because of maybe the pressure, what we have gone through the day, like how you are coming and you are not meeting perfection, you are not meeting that the things that are supposed to be done, properly done. The next point is to react instead of responding. We react immediately. Maybe after a while, before we now start say, okay. So the best thing actually is to pause, to use that pause button, so that even at the end of the day, we don't even enjoy ourselves. Now, beyond
Abi,
that, we make, yes, so that we don't even enjoy ourselves in the process of yelling, shouting, why did you not do this? So you just have to use the pause button. And sometimes it is even better, sometimes you just ignore. Then maybe you can come back later on to come and find out why those things were halfly done or why they are like that. Now, beyond that, I learned, I was able to pick out four unique human gifts. He mentioned self-awareness, he mentioned conscience, and he mentioned imagination and independent will. Now, when he was referring to the self-awareness, he was talking about our thoughts, being aware of ourselves. In the process of we trying to react, sometimes you even forget who you are. You can even go beyond what you are supposed to do. So he mentioned that we being aware of ourselves. Then conscience. This conscience, really, if you see, I see a lot of parents, sometimes the way they behave, particularly those of us in the school field, the way some parents behave, you'll be wondering, does this parent have a conscience at all? And based on the way we have also been taught about conscience in the church, we notice that conscience can either be weak, either be dead, either be strong, either you can have a conscience that is alive, various conscience like that. So this conscience is for us to know from our inner being how to treat our children, the proper way we should treat our children. That is one lesson for me. Letting our conscience to be alive when we are treating our children. Then the next point is our imagination, ability to envision something powerful, putting our imagination to life, bringing it to life is one of the four unique human gifts. And I believe this gift is God that have given us this gift in the process of we being proactive. Then the last one is independent will. I wrote here, I say it's the will to take action. The will to take action. Now, under this being proactive, it is our will to take action even before we start running. That is why now, as a parent, I personally, I did start, although I've already know that I want to have a beautiful family, I want my family to be good, I want my family to thrive on the values of God, but I did start taking parenting as it were, maybe when my child was a year old. I did it. Now, if I tell you, the first time there was something I saw then at age 10, my first child was 10. When I saw him type something on phone, as I saw what he was typing, I was shocked. It was at that moment I sat down, started thinking, what was the next thing to do? That was when I started checking online what to do. And I think it was along the line. I also stopped on Coach Enimie's page, kind of, because I was just typing parenting like that, parenting. And that was one day, she won't even know now. She's here, maybe she will just be hearing it. I just chatted and asked her if she's into academy also. As at that time, she now said she have not started. That was, I don't know, like maybe like 4 years back or 5 years back. But when she eventually started, I didn't know. I think it was already 1 year past before I now saw it. But then, because I was already becoming intentional, I started putting things in place. I began to be proactive with the few things I was gaining from the free parenting platform that I belong to. Before eventually, 2 years or 3 years back, and I joined a paid parenting. So this proactivity, for us to be proactive. So parents that are just beginning, maybe they just got married and they are into parenting academy, they don't even know what they are gaining. They are gaining a lot, because it will really help them to help them to get ready for what is ahead. But you see, the society we are today, a lot of parents are not even ready. In fact, I saw a post where Coach wrote about this book. That even if you believe that you are not going to, if you believe that you shouldn't pay for parenting, that if you have this book, you can still do your parenting if you follow the principles there. But how many parents will be willing to read? How many parents are willing to read? Even if you dash them, you buy the book and give to them as gift, they won't read. So proactivity, we have to be intentional. And being intentional, this is one aspect, proactive. So these are my lessons so far.
You.
And if we go for let me stop because of time. Let me stop.
Let me add one thing that we have not.
We still have a note. We are supposed to finish by 9 o'clock so that we can start our emotional intelligence class today. Yes. Are you sure we can achieve that?
About our emotion,
because you know that this year,
emotional bank
the thing will
account
just
is very important. Emotional bank account is something that we cannot just overlook in this first habits. So filling our children's bank account is very, very important. And most of the time, we do not understand that we place so much withdrawal on their emotions than we deposit. And each time we make promise and we do not keep it, we are withdrawing. Each time we refuse to forgive them, we are withdrawing. Each time we refuse to apologize when we even do the wrong thing, we are withdrawing. Each time we do not give them room to express themselves, we are withdrawing. So it is important for us to fill their emotion bank accounts, because that on its own will help to be able to respond well to them. We help us to be able to even understand them. And they too will be able to understand us, even before we get to the other habits of seeking to understand and whatever. So it is important. The quality of relationship we build with our children is based on this emotion bank accounts. Let me stop there.
Thank you so much, ma. Yes. And then one other thing I learned from this particular one, like you have explained everything, but I just wanted to quickly chip it in. He talked about the serenity prayer. You know, being proactive, like I was explaining, like we all have explained, it simply means proactive, before you act. Before you act. So one thing that helps you to be proactive is that helps you not to just jump into activity. Being reactivity is when you have your plans, when you have structure. You know, that was when he talked about serenity prayer, talking about, you know, there are things that are within your circle of influence. There are some that are beyond your circle of influence. So as a parent, you need to understand these things. You need to, because if you don't understand them, you are just going to mumble all of them together. There was something again I picked for my family. I don't remember where exactly it is now. You know, when he talked about, as a family, we should always build in our. I don't know how he tagged it, but they are very important aspects of our family. I actually wrote it down, and because I've been busy all day, I told things we building emotional bank accounts, like Kojinado has explained, things we should always do as a family to build their emotional bank account. He said one of which is apologizing. Where is it? Apologizing. Apologize. Mistakes, yes. Mistakes will happen. Things will happen. You apologize. You are building their bank account. Another one is being loyal to your children, your family members, even when they are not with you. Being loyal. And it simply means that someone can be judged, someone can be talking down on your family member outside, your children, your spouse, even when they are not there. You don't join them. You are going to be loyal to them. Recently, someone was telling me that her best friend of years, they just broke up. What happened? Someone went to her back and was telling the best friend about her and some things, and the best friend actually believed that person. And those things were not true. The person was just someone trying to sow a seed of discord, and the person believed. So being loyal, whether that person is there or not, is super important. Keeping promises. I think I've talked about this several times. Each time I talk about, parents will say, if I play with my children, they will see me finish. I always tell them that your children will not see you finish if you play with them. One of the reasons they will see you finish is if you are not consistent. You don't keep your promises. Keeping promises is one way we also make deposits into their emotional bank account. Forgiving. When we do this on our own, we also teach them again how to forgive. These are actually the primary laws of love that helps us. Okay, we also talked about the primary laws of love. It talks about acceptance, understanding, a lot. So we don't want to sleep on the first habit because we have 7 habits. So what we want to do, we are moving to the next habit. So one thing about this book that I absolutely love is the activity page. The activity page. So if you have this book, if you have not been carrying it out, in the Visionary Parent Academy, we have what we call family talk time. I hold with my family on Saturday mornings. I also encourage you to hold with your families, either on Saturday mornings or Saturday evening. So since we have not been doing it because we have been using this book, and I honestly would want us to finish using this book. It's just that because we are going to emotional intelligence, I want us to carry our children along. So we are still coming to go back to this book because this book is super important. And one major thing I must not forget to add is this story of the Chinese bamboo tree. You may be parents, you may be doing things now because it is in this being proactive that he mentioned it. You may be doing, you think you are not getting results. Now, Covey you will know too, has told us a couple of weeks ago, I think 3-4 weeks ago, I bought a basket of tomatoes. So when I was going to buy, the person told me they were hard and all of that. I said, okay, bring it for me. Unfortunately, the person could not bring it for me the day she helped me buy it. And the following day, my car was down, so I couldn't get the tomatoes. By the time she brought it to me 3 days later, she has her own things in the car. The thing has gone everywhere. Tomatoes were just broken. So I just took the ones I could take and wash. The remaining one, I just poured it in my garden. I didn't even remember. A week later, I went there. They have sprouted everything. It's just like rashes all over the place. I was telling my children that these are tomatoes. They were asking me, how did I know? What am I trying to say? When they were growing, we didn't see it. I didn't even see it until I got there a week later. That is what the bamboo Chinese tree, the Chinese bamboo tree is telling us about. He said it takes about 5 years it will be under the ground. You would think nothing is happening. By the 6th year, when it grows into, is it not 800 meters tall? You are wondering from when to when. So it's telling you that your parenting, everything you are doing, they are growing. When they shoot out, you'll be surprised. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's go to the next habit. Maybe I will not talk, so that we don't talk too much here. Begin with the end in mind. begin with the end in mind. Habit 2. So let's hear you, Coach Angela.
Okay, begin with the end in mind. I think everything this chapter is about is talking about a vision, family vision, what you want your family to be. Now, I said it is based on the principles of vision. Vision is what gives successful children or people the drive to succeed. Without vision, nothing succeed. In fact, in life, anything you want to do, whether as a business person, whether even in marriage, then to the family now, without vision, nothing works out. No, so as a family now, what do I want my family to become? Maybe in 10 years' time,
Yeah.
in 20 years' time, in 30 years' time, in 50 years' time. It begins with vision. So if I want my family to become a great family in the next 30 years, a family where the children they are becoming transgenerational stars, I want them to become stars, then it has to begin now. I have to have the end in my mind now. And because I have the end, I know where we are going to. We are going somewhere, then I should begin to envision it. I should envision it, and in the process of doing that, I should also be able to carry my family along, carry my husband along, carry my children along, and everyone's voice in creating that, envisioning that future, in creating that family vision is important.
Thank you, ma. Thank you.
So that was
Coach
that
Dave,
for me. Now, in crafting our own family vision, okay.
mission. Go on, go on, go on.
Okay, I should continue. I thought.
Yes, ma.
Okay. Now, in creating a family mission statement, it is expected that step one, that we explore what our family is all about. We should explore what our family is all about. What do we want as a family? What do we want our family to be? Then a mission statement. What is the mission statement about? The mission statement, it can be for two, which is husband and wife, it can be for more. Now, when the husband and wife come together, that is two. Two of them can start the mission statement. Now, as the children begins to come, as the children begin to come, the family is now becoming more. From two to three, three to
Yeah.
four, four to five. It depends on how the family wants to be. Now, in the process of creating this mission statement, everybody have to listen to what everyone has to bring to the table. I think that was where he mentioned something like when you ask everybody what they should write, some can mention something like love, some can mention kindness, some can mention different things. At the end of the day, everybody
Yes.
comes together and they put down in a statement
Yeah.
what they want, what they are envisioning for the future. So
Yeah.
that's basically what the chapter 2 is talking about. Having the mind, having
In
the end right now
in
from the
mind.
beginning. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
ma. Thank you so much, ma. Let's go, Coach Zinadu.
Oh, we don't need to dress so much on this chapter because it's so practical and direct. Um,
Yeah.
a family mission statement, create your vision, and the author gave us, when he talks about exploring what your family is all about, he gives so a list of questions that can help us to be able to explore that so that we'll be able to arrive at the right destination.
Destination.
Because what happened is that if we do not do this exploration, there are certain areas that will be neglected. There are certain personality in the family that can feel neglected, that can feel that their voice is not heard. And that is the purpose of
Yeah.
this exploration and ensuring that their mind, their own definition of the kind of family they want is well captured in the statement, because that is the purpose of the
Yeah.
template. I don't want to go into all the questions that was said. Then
The questions are
so
actually in the hardcover. The questions are in page 89. So if you have the hardcover, you
Yes,
don't want to read, just go there.
yes.
What is the
Now,
purpose of
yes,
page
our
89.
family? What kind of family do we want? What kind of things do we want to do? They are there.
yes.
And these things are so practical.
And what principle do we want each of our children to help them to prepare them for adulthood, you know. And it's
Yes.
not only even about, one beautiful thing about that exploration is that the questions answers about now, about the future, even when you are talking
Yeah.
about the future, captures most of the things that you may want to say, about the challenges that you can even face. So everything will have been captured, so to say, such that by the time you get to that place, you have something taking care of it that will not become a big issue for the family. So
Yeah.
that is it.
Thank you, ma. You know one thing about this family, what's the title of the with the end in mind? Like the author talks about having a family meeting to discuss these issues. These things are practical. They are very helpful. See, if you have a spouse, you don't have an alignment in your parenting principles. This having a family vision, family mission statement will help you a great deal. I remember my husband, he has this mindset. Oh, for example, one time he saw my son's trouser that has a hole. He said, no, for what now? Growing up, my trouser used to have a hole at the bum bum. They will patch and patch and patch the hole. I don't want my children to have that kind of thing. Lie. You know, he had that mindset of, I don't want my children to have all those struggling I had. At a point, we had to, before I even became super intentional, because I have my first degree in psychology. So I would say when it comes to parenting, human behavior, human relationship, and all of that, I'm more knowledgeable than him. I had to sit him down. We had to look at what is really, really what we want for our family, what we want for our children. I told him, I said, I don't want to raise a jebo. That is, I don't want to raise a jebo. Children who are so, who are so, I don't know how to put it, who are so, should I use the word butter, who are so sport, who are so pampered. I said, no. Even when we moved into this house, I remember my sister came and said, this house is big, oh, you need to get cleaner. My mom came, this house is big, oh, you need to get cleaner. I had to tell my mom, when we were growing up, how many cleaners did we have? I don't remember ever having cleaners. And she was telling me, you know, that time, because people were 6 children and we always had dependents, so what is it called? Things were always, it was not very convenient for us to have all of that. I remember in the Visionary Parents Academy, that was where I got inspiration to say that when we say our parents raised us, it turned out well, our parents were not the ones that actually raised us 100%. The situation, the environment, everything around when we were raised us. So it simply means that if my mom had all the money in the world, she would have probably bottled us up, wrapped us in a bubble, and spot us silly. You know, so what am I trying to say? When you have this conversation with your spouse, it helps you be on the same page. It's super important to know where you are going to. You know where you are going to. You know the mission statement. Mission means your where you are going to. So your mission statement is something that guides you towards where you are going to. You already have your vision, something that guides you, something that reminds you every day where you are going to. This reminds you where you are going to. So it's just like a motivation for you. So again, go and read Habit 2 and get started. Thank you so much. And then again, we also have activities at the end of Habit 2 for you and your family to carry out, where your children to carry out. The good thing is we have activities for teenagers, we have activities for young children. So please get to it. So Habit 3, put first things first. I know that in this put first things first, there's a story Coach Nadu loves a lot in this put first thing first. She's always talking about the story. So Coach Angela, let's hear you first.
Okay, in this put first thing first, you see that these days, if some parents will say they love their family so much, people say they
Yeah.
love their family. I want the best for my family. Everything I'm doing is for my family. I go to work for my family. When they go out as early as 6 o'clock, they come back around 10 p.m. It's because of my family I'm working. Now, the family that you are working for, do you really have time for the family?
Yeah.
For the every 24 hours, how many minutes of the day do you actually spend with the family, with the children? So this chapter is about the fact that if we say family is first, then we should prioritize the family. Now, along the line, part of what he said, he mentioned things. He said there are 5 lies that parents tell themselves about why they are not always available for the family. It mentioned why the work about the workplace preferences to family. Now they say they are there for the family, but at the end of the day, it is the work, or whatever they are doing that take all of their time, that makes them not to be available for their family. Number one, he said parents tell themselves, one of the first lies they tell themselves is that we need the extra money. So
Money,
because
yeah.
they need the extra money, all the time of the day they are working. And at the end of the day, the family not only push to be the second, not even third, not fourth, not fifth, they just push the family. The family become one of the last things. The second line is that parents tell themselves, they said daycare is perfect. Daycare will take care of what they are supposed to do. So
I think our network
Kojina,
is.
that is the
I think so.
second lie
Okay,
parents
she's
tell
trying to come
themselves.
back. Daycare is available. Okay, I'm here. Themselves a lie that companies are not flexible. So because of that, they shift the responsibility of parenting to even the third, fourth, or fifth position. Then dad would gladly stay at home if their wives earn money. Then they will not stay at home if their wives earn money. Then the last Network.
The network is not cooperating over there.
Yeah.
Do I continue,
So
ma?
putting first things first, like
so
you
you say
tried to
high
explain.
taxes force both of themselves and another high rate of, can you hear me?
We can
Network.
hear you, ma. We can hear you now.
Okay. Now this chapter, okay, ma. This chapter is telling us that when we say we want to put our family first, or we are putting family first, we should create time. We should balance it. We should not, at the end of the day, other things become first. Work, friends, relationship outside become first. Why our family will not be the one suffering. Now, he make reference to some factors like technology, culture, economy, and all of that. That those days, before technology actually came up to the level it is now, those days, just like as you have said, there were other factors that helped in raising the children. The children could
Yeah.
access, in fact, I even remember during my time when the community, the neighborhood, even when your parents are not around, other parents could correct you. They could tell you the right thing to do and all of that. But the days that we are in now, everybody, most families now, they are now in secluded apartments. The children are now exposed to television, to different apps from morning till night. No social interaction outside. And you see, because the children are always having access to technology, the rate of exposure to porn and all those other vices is very, very high. So he was trying to say we will also create time. No matter how, we create time and be there for the family. And so in putting first family first, we'll still go back to creating structure for the family, how the family runs. We're creating structure, knowing what everybody knowing their role, what they do to keep the family moving and going on. Thank you very much. These were the things I picked from that chapter.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you.
All right, ma.
Thank you, ma.
Uh, there is one quote by Oprah Winfrey that I just want to share. I love it so much. Two quotes that I'm going to just use to just summarize whatever I want to say. It says, but it said, if you don't have the time for one night or at least 1 hour during the week where everybody can come together as a family, then the family is
Yeah.
not the priority. Oprah Winfrey.
Yes.
Important. Yeah.
So it means that we will always create time, regardless of how busy we are. We'll create time to eat.
Yeah.
Regardless of how busy we are, even if we have a call, we'll still, if we do not pick it immediately, we'll create time to return the call. And that is it. And there is another thing that I want to share with us. It says, when the infrastructure shifts, everything rumbles.
Yeah.
And that stood out for me. I've been meditating over that since the time I read it. And it is very, very important for us. And what is that infrastructure? Is the structure in the family. If you do not have a structure to ensure that we prioritize one another, it cannot stand. And it is in the course of that, it talks about family time. Thank God for the Visionary Parents Academy. We always have family time every weekend. It is a mandatory thing for us to do that. It's and that particular chapter also encourages one-on-one bonding time with each member of your
Yeah.
family, which is, we are big on that at the Visionary Parents Academy at the same time. And one thing, one of the challenge I see that parents have is that they want to be dramatic about this one-on-one time, forgetting that at times your one-on-one can be in the kitchen. Your one-on-one can just
Yeah.
be when your child is just doing one thing, and that can be the opportunity you will have with that child. Your one-on-one can just be that you just want to go together and just pick up something somewhere. That can be the opportunity to just take that time to bond with the child. So if we are looking for one big opportunity to prioritize every member of the family, that may not come. But every moment we have, we make use of it. We use it to reach the heart of the child. Just like we love to say at the Visionary Parents Academy, you discover that over time, everybody will prioritize one another. And just like we said the other
Yeah.
time, loyalty. One thing is that the moment every member of a family knows that they are important, will gain each other's loyalty.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma. So again, it is put first things first, and this is very super important. Like Coach Angela said, we say our family, our children are the most important things to us, but we don't practicalize it. And one way she talked about time, time, time. Coach Inani, they talked about time, time, time. See, I've read several times that when it comes to parenting, time is love. Time is love. That is simply is. You want to put first things first. You want to meet a person. It is what is important for very many parents. It is buying gifts. Like she was saying that one of the lies we tell ourselves that make us want to prioritize our children or create time for our children. More work, more work, more work, more making money. Very many parents, we prioritize work, making money over being with our children. And guess what? It is not even because we want to provide for our children. It is because we want to, for our own ego, want to buy the fancy things for our children. Not because we know that those things we are buying for them are not children-centered. They are for our own ego. When you go out, your children wear the fanciest clothes. When your children have the fanciest gadgets, your children have attend the fanciest schools, even though they don't align with your values. For our own ego, not for our children at the end of the day. So if you want to put first things first in your family, in your parenting, meet the person, ask them what is important to you. Time is important. Time gisting, time bonding, time making love, time laughing, time connecting with them. These are the important things to them. So put that first thing, time, put it first, and every other thing will follow. But first things first. Thank you so much, ma. Habit first, say think win-win. Think win-win. Okay, Coach Angela.
Okay, for me, this win-win. When this man was talking about this chapter, he tried to interwoven it with the other three chapter, the win-win, seek first to understand being before you seek for you to be understood, and the rest of all that.
Yeah.
Now, in this win-win, he also talked about the win-lose and the lose win, then the win win. Now, the family, if
Yeah.
we see ourselves as a team, practically, if we see ourselves as a team, then it shouldn't be
Yeah.
about me. It shouldn't just be about me always. About me. I think he started the chapter by sharing how whether him and somebody where he was having a conference, trying to do a wrestling
Yeah.
fight. They're trying to be
The
involved in the
hand
wrestling.
wrestle.
And in the wrestling
Yes.
now,
The
definitely
hand
in a
wrestle.
wrestling, somebody will always win. One person will always win, but there is a way he did it while he was practicing it. At the end of the day, two of them appear as if they are winner. Then he also shared a story of
Yeah.
two children that went for a picnic or something like that. They went for a picnic, and the
Two
the I
siblings.
think
Yeah.
the junior one of them was like he didn't want to be with the other one because he always making to feel that he is always the winner.
Yeah.
He's always the winner, and the father of those children have to eventually bring them together for those children to talk about it. So as a family, we should create that atmosphere where all the children, where all the family members, they see themselves as the winner. All of us, we are winning
Yeah.
together. Because if
We will need
eventually
to.
they notice that one person is winning, or the if we see one person is winning, one person's win should be everybody's win. If one person is
Yeah.
winning, then it's all of us that is winning. And in fact, we should cheer that person to win more, because his or
Yes.
her win is everybody's win. I think that is what that chapter is practically talking about.
Thank you, man. Coach David.
Go ahead, coach.
Go on. Okay. You go on with the win-win thing. Or you don't want to say anything about it.
There's not much with win-win. It's
Okay. So that's basically it. Something that worked for me. The first time I read about this win-win, because my kids have this habit of highly effective teenagers. So when we read about this win-win, I adopted this with my children. Each time they bicker, I always tell them, think win-win. It's not about, we are a team working together as a team. So if you are working together as a team, it has to be what makes everybody win, what makes everybody happy. I tell them that there is no point you, like this evening I was teaching my children something. I said, if your sibling or anybody else's unhappiness makes you happy, then you are not a good person. You are not a child of God. You are mean. Somebody's unhappiness, somebody's sadness, somebody's suffering should not make you happy. So think win-win. Everybody has to win. Find a common ground, whether it's husband and wife issues. You find a common ground. I tell my children, there is no award. Nobody will come and give you an award special for being this. No. So what happens? Are you going to have issues? That is where the win-win comes in, because in families you will always have conflicts. You will always have conflict. So when you have conflict, what are you going to do about it? If you win, the other person loses. Now that person feels sad. Because if you have a family that you want to be united, you want to be bonded together, that is your vision, then you must teach your children to think win-win. Because at the end of the day, like the two boys Coach Angela was trying to describe, they went for a camp, and each time they play a game, the elder one will win and he will brag about it. And the younger one was not happy about it and he said, okay, I don't want to be around me. Because of the incited misbehavior. Misbehavior is always a communication. So both of them were disagreeing until the elder brother decided to let the younger brother win sometimes, and that was it. At the end of the day, if somebody keeps winning, one person keeps winning, that win is going to make the other person unhappy most of the time. And the person that wins, it's not as if you're going to get a trophy. It's not as if something. It's not as if you're in a competition with your family member. So every time they should always think win-win. So I tell my children, okay, go and when they have an issue, they are coming to tell me, I just tell them, go and think win-win. Think win-win. Win-win simply means that this works for you, this works for you, and everybody is together. It's not selfishness. It's not all about me. Now, apart from having squabbles in the family, there are also decisions you need to take as a family. When you need to take decisions, I'm just trying to remember some of the stories you shared. So some of the decisions you need to take as a family. So the decision has to benefit everybody. Think win-win. You don't have to always impose it on the other person. Think of it. How will this benefit? How will this benefit? And you know the truth of the matter. You will not know how it will benefit the other person if you do not ask. Now, this leads us to the next habit, which is seek first to understand. Because you can stay in your lane and assume I'm doing the best for this person. Just like the trending topic of Ukubi and his wife, when the Ukubi said the husband has not been romantic, and the husband said, this is what I do for you now. How can you say I'm not romantic? The wife said, that is not romance. No, he sits in his corner and he says to himself, this is what is good for my wife. No. To think win-win, you must know that person will be able to express themselves. That takes us to the next habit. Seek first to understand. Coach Angela, please.
Okay. In seeking first to understand and then to be understood. You see,
yes,
Stephen showed us a picture. There were two pictures he showed us. The Indian picture and this Skimolo picture, and it was trying to tell us that people view things from different angles. Now it talked about also the eyeglasses. Now when that eyeglasses now, when people wear it, maybe a particular medicated glass, the person that is wearing it originally, maybe these glasses I'm wearing now, it was made for my eyes, and I'm the one using it. There's a way, as I'm wearing it now, there's a way I'm seeing things around me. If you put this same eyeglass, somebody else put it on, the person may not use it to see things the way I'm using it to see. The person may use it to see things from different angles. Now, this particular chapter is telling us that because people view things from different angles, the way they also understand issues will also differ. So that is why, as parents, we should seek to understand the members of our family. We should seek to understand them first. If I'm coming into the house now, I see that the things I'm expecting that they should do, or the house chores they should do, they didn't do it. I should first of all find out first from them why they decided to do it the other way, and they didn't do it the way I have prescribed it. And maybe perhaps after listening to them, I may buy into what they did, or may be able to see why they did it that way. And from there, I'll not be able to now further still teach them, or we share our various view on how to move it forward. Now, let's say in the case of somebody wants to cook jollof rice, for example. Some people, when they want to cook jollof rice, they can just first of all fry the tomatoes, everything like that, before they put water and put the rice. Then somebody else may come and say, no, that is not how I cook my jollof rice. My jollof rice, I'll first of all be boiling the rice first. Then put my tomatoes, everything like that. It's still jollof rice. So you can see that both of them are cooking jollof rice, but they are using different approach. So in using different approach, one is doing it based on the way he understands it to be done. The other person is doing it in his way or her way that he feels that it should be done. So as parents, we should seek to understand our children. He said, at the heart of family pain is misunderstanding. Now, the reason there is so much misunderstanding, or there is so much conflict in families, you hear some families, husband and wife, they just got married maybe some 3 months back, some less than a year, and you start seeing that there is conflict. It's because they have refused to understand themselves. This person, the man, have refused to view things from the wife angle, and the wife too has refused to view things from the man's angle. So what will result? It will result to misunderstanding. And so long as the misunderstanding is there, if they refuse to see each other from their various angles, so that they can talk over that matter and resolve it, it may even lead to it may even lead to the marriage breaking up. So that's that. So we must, in every relationship, whether with our spouses or with our children, we must seek first to understand them, why they behave in a certain way, or why they are doing things in the manner in which they are doing it. That's what that chapter is talking about.
Thank you so
All
much,
right.
ma. Thank you. Coach, should I go on or you want to contribute?
All right, ma. Thank you, ma. Um, there are times that when being understood means giving back to other family members. And this can be very hard to do because most of the time we don't like feedback because it doesn't match
Yeah.
the image of ourselves, and we don't want to hear anything that reflects that image that is less than what we think of it or what we have in mind. So one thing is that is part of a way for us to be able to be understood if we are giving feedback. If we are getting feedback from any member of our family, do you know that there are some family that children cannot give feedback to their parents? That, oh, this is what you
Yeah.
are doing that we don't like. This is how we prefer this thing to be. For instance, Coach Angela talked about cooking food now. I know on several occasions our lead coach has said some things about how our children love certain food to be cooked. And there are times that you want to cook it, like in my own house, we have some people that they prefer their semo to be made in a particular way. And me, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But because that's the way they want it, and I understand that the moment they make it in that particular way, they will eat it better. And it does not affect me. It doesn't affect me.
God bless
So
you.
I will allow
Yeah.
it to be. Do you understand? So there are certain things that we do not need to be dramatic about. We just need to be understanding. Because most of
Yeah.
the time we are dramatic about certain things that does not even require our energy. So this place is making us to realize that seeking to understand at times will save you some energy. It's like you are choosing your battle.
Yeah.
And
Choose your
when,
battle.
there is another part of the chapter that talks about understanding the developmental stage, not only physical developmental stage, emotional developmental stage, mental developmental stage, because this will help us to be able to understand that this is what is going on with this person. For instance, somebody that has been troubled even at the place of work today, for instance, between husband and wife, somebody has been pressured. You were not at work with the person. And by the time he comes in, you is reacting somehow. If you want to give it back to the person the way he's bringing it, at the end of the day, the whole thing will will crumble. But it is better at that moment to try to understand where this person is coming from, where this person is
Yeah.
speaking from. So, and we should not allow feelings to be shut down because unexpressed feelings never die. They are
Yeah.
just buried. And what happens is that it's a matter of time they will come alive. And most of the time they will
Yeah.
come alive in a more uglier way. So that we must understand that if we do not we do not understand people to that level, at the end of the day, you just shut your children down. They suggest something, they want to say something, you shut them down. At the end of the day, it will become, by the time they are still young, when they become teenagers, they will become rebellious. Let me stop at that.
That is it. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you. You see, this seek first understanding, it's a major, major skill everybody needs. It's not something, it's one of the major, major things you need if you want to become an emotionally intelligent person. There's a story he shared that is quite fascinating because it is actually how a lot of us operate. I remember one time my husband was asking me, why do I want to do a particular thing? I don't remember the thing now I wanted to do, but I remember the things that he did that I used to give him as an example. I now told him something and I said, do you know that these things you did, they didn't make sense to me, But you know why I did not oppose them? I did not talk about them because there are some things that are very sentimental to us as human beings. They are kind of where we are coming from, a whole lot of things, We hold them dearly. They influence the things we do. Sometimes we have pride. Sometimes we have loyalty. Sometimes we have a lot of things. They influence what we do. So I was telling him that this particular two things you did, that if you ask me, they didn't make sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. So just the same way mine doesn't make sense to you. He explained his own to me. I said, it is okay. I understand it is where you are coming from. So what am I trying to say? The story the man shared was about a woman who wanted a particular brand of refrigerator. And even though it was more expensive, it was far away, the woman still wanted that brand of refrigerator. It was causing issue in the family until the husband sought to understand, and he realized that that brand of refrigerator, there was a time the father was struggling when they were growing up. He had to do a couple of jobs, and at a time he opened a shop to be selling refrigerator, and that brand of refrigerator was always coming through for them. So the person just became sentimentally attached to that brand of refrigerator, that if it's not that brand, she wasn't getting something else. It was not just about the refrigerator itself, it was about the imprints, the childhood, everything, what that refrigerator meant to her. That was it. That was it. The same thing, we all have reasons. So if we do not seek to understand where the other person is coming from, just like the illustrations he made, is like you write a 6 on the ground. Someone is at the other side, someone is at this side. Both of you are arguing, is 6, is 9, is 6, is 9. I always use this for my children when I want to teach them to seek to understand. I tell them, but when you turn around, you realize that the argument is going to change. You are going to start arguing what that person was arguing, and the person is going to start arguing what you were arguing about. Why? Because you're in the person's shoes, you now understand better. Seek to understand. I read something on Facebook some time ago that assumption is the smallest level of knowledge or something like that. Always seek to understand. Is the lowest form of knowledge. Thank you. There is something we always do. We always just assume. We always assume, as parents, as spouses, we always just assume this person is doing this, this person is doing this. We always assume that our children are misbehaving. We always assume that these children, they just want to stress us out. We always assume that these children, no. I always say to parents that there is no child that likes you to smack them. There's no child that likes you to yell at them. There is no child that wants to misbehave, because they don't want to get in your bad book. Unfortunately, some factors are responsible. Like Jonathan said, it is when we need to understand certain things about our children, their developmental age, because the chronological age is even different from the mental age. It's different from the emotional age. It's different from a lot of other factors. So we need to understand those things so that we can actually cut them some slacks. So it will help us, when we understand those things, it helps us understand who we are dealing with, our children, our spouses. So, and when we understand those things, we will stop assuming, because the more we assume, the more damage we do. You assume that what you are doing is good for the person. How do you know what you are doing is good for me? Why don't you ask me what is good for me? I will tell you this is what is good for me, and you will do that, and not to just assume it. Because it is good for you does not mean it is good for me. So seek to understand. If we learn to patiently seek to understand in our relationships, we learn to ask questions, the right questions, how our spouses, our children feel about certain things. Because one of the major issues we have in relationships is because we do not understand. My husband will always say, I always like to give excuses for people. I like to give excuses for people. I tell him that the reason I give excuses for people, it's actually because very many times things are not always as they seem to be. I always tell him, people just don't wake up and they just want to do. I know that there are people that are wicked, that are mean, that are reasonable, but very many times, you know that people just don't wake up, they want to be mean. Something would have happened along the line that will make that thing happen. So when they tell you that thing, you even realize, you will pity them. You cut them some slack because you understand that. So seek to understand. It is a non-negotiable habit we need in our relationships. Thank you so much. We can go. The next one is synergize. Coach Angela, synergize, please.
Okay. I'll just quickly talk briefly, because that is actually where I am ahead. So I've not done the last one. That is actually where I am. It's talking about synergy. The picture on that book is talking about, normally 1 + 1 is 2. But the picture there, you will see 1 plus 1 equals to
1 plus
3.
1, 3.
Now, synergy
Yes,
simply
ma'am.
means working together with another person to achieve a
Yeah.
greater result. Now, that's the story
Yes.
that started that particular chapter. Was talking about how the son said that he was going to quit playing basketball, and
Football.
the reason, okay, football. I thought it was basketball. Being the reason
Is
that
it? I think maybe one of them, one of those.
I think it's basketball.
Is
Basketball,
basketball.
basketball. Yes, the son said he
Yeah.
was going to quit playing it, and the father wasn't happy about it because the elder ones, they are doing well in playing it, and he feels that he too will do very well in playing it. But eventually the boy told him that the reason why he's quitting is because the coach is always comparing him. He's always being compared with the other one, so that's why he was
Yeah.
planning to quit. Though later on, there was also a room that if he start playing for the church team, that he will still like to continue to play the basketball. I think that was how they were able to resolve it, to synergize. So that chapter is actually just talking about what, there is no point to compare children. There are, like me and in my family now, in my home, where this one is good in, the other one may not be good there, but will also be good in other areas.
Yeah.
Like that my sanguine son now, that my sanguine son that it can really be very funny. Now when it comes to chore, he's the one that always do something and will not complete it, always do it half. But God will help us to
Not them.
overcome that. But when it comes to,
Not them. What
I think our
happened?
network is gone again.
Yeah. Okay, coach, you have to say something or I should
All,
jump in.
all right, ma. All right, ma. Just let's put it at the fact that it's like a partnership thing, and the chapter is
Yeah.
also talking about celebrating each other's
okay,
differences.
but when it comes to feasting, that my son, that
Okay, Coach Angela, go ahead, ma. I think the network is still front and back. Are you with us, ma?
okay, well, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, are
Hello,
you through
I
with
can
your
hear.
thoughts, ma?
I wasn't true. I wasn't true. I was talking about my son. My son that is a sanguine, that is always in the habit of not completing tasks. But that my son can be very good when it comes to fixing things in the house. If maybe something like a broken pipe, or maybe one of the tap, like the other day, there was a pipe that got broken. I didn't know where to, even though I was seeing where to lock it so that the water will not be gushing out. I could not do it. I needed something else to twist the tap head. I didn't know how to do it, and I didn't get it. So I just went and locked the tap from the central lock, which, and by doing that, water was cut off for the whole house. No water anywhere. When he came back from school, I just told him, before I knew what was happening, he has got to look for something. He tightened that other tap where the tap head got broken. Then he now went and opened it, and there was water supply to the whole house. Now, when it comes to like that, my son now, in that aspect, he's good. He's good. He can fix broken things in the house. He can, if I'm challenged, now
That's
maybe there is issue with this network, now I will call him. He can come and help me. But when it comes to chore, he can do chore halfway. So I should be able I should be able to celebrate him. I should be able to make him to understand, okay, since you are good in this area, me, I know I'm not good in fixing those things. And this other side, I know I'm good. There's a way we will now come together. We partner together, just as you have said. We synergize and we see that we are moving the family forward. So that's all I can say, because I've actually not finished that chapter.
Thank
Okay.
you,
Thank
ma.
Thank
you,
you,
ma.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
it's about involving every member of the family. For instance, you can have a problem in the family, you involve everyone to identify the problem and to work out the solution. No one, you realize that one idea, one suggestion from even the person that you least expected can be the solution to the whole thing. For instance, I had issue, was it yesterday, with my device. I was struggling with it all through. at my work. The thing was not coming forth. When I got home, I told my son and my husband, everybody started looking for solution and all of that. And at a particular time, I was just busy doing my thing. And as they were trying to look for solution, and the solution was not coming forth, and it just occurred to me. And I just came out of the kitchen and I said, please do it like this. And you won't believe it. Immediately it was done, and that sorted it. Now, one thing was that I have the mind initially that once I get home, I have men at home, they will sort it. But at the end of the day, I got that idea, I was the one that did it. If it's another person and they didn't involve me, what will have happened? The struggle will have continued for a longer time. So that's the thing that happened. There are certain things that even our children that are very younger, that looks as if they are weak in certain area, we should celebrate their area of strength. You know, some family, they magnify people's weaknesses as if it's only one person that have weakness. So the chapter is for us to be able to know that everybody is important in progress, in development, in achieving our goal as a family. Let me stop at that.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you. Thank you. Like they have said, synergy means partnership. Synergy is collaboration, working together. Now, let me tell you what happens. When you work together, you are partners with your children. They actually feel heard, they feel seen, they feel appreciated, they feel important. They don't feel you are imposing on them. It is not now a dictatorship kind of family, because they are in the picture together. You know, if you're in the Visionary Parents Academy, you will know that when we are having these conversations around structures, around family constitution, there is one thing I say repeatedly. I say, carry your children along. Make sure you are all setting the rules and regulations together. That is synergy. That is collaboration. At the end of the month, I ask my children, I give them an exercise today. All what happened this month, write it down. What you enjoyed, what you did not enjoy, our area of improvement, write everything down. That is it. Now you synergize, you collaborate, you are all working together as a family towards a common goal. Sorry, okay, she's here. You are working together as a family. So when you have, you know, one thing again, I tell parents, and I want to say it here, which is super truth. If your children are becoming preteens and teenagers, now they understand your family economy, it will be super easy for your children not to make demands that are above you, not to put you under pressure. They know what goes on in the family, your priorities. You have a common vision where you are going to. They understand, okay, this is the average money that comes into the family. This money goes there, this money goes there, this money goes there. You are working together as a family. It is easy for your children to understand you, to be reasonable in their demands, to be on the same page with you. So synergy simply means that there's no dictatorship, that everybody is working together. You bring your children into what you are doing. Let them understand. You run a business. Your children, they follow you there. They understand how those things are working. They are learning leadership. They are collaborating with you. They will give you idea. There's a boy in my church, I told the boy that you are very smart. Your father is a builder and a builder. Okay, they call him a builder. I think because it's not necessarily like an engineer or an architect, you know, he just builds. I told, follow your dad, follow him to site. He will see what he's doing there. He will know where his money is coming from. You will know how he does his things. And I said, you will be also able to learn, and you are growing from there. That is synergy, working together. Working together. When your children are on break, they follow you. You are working together. It makes them feel important. It feel important while they are learning. There's no dictator. Everyone is on the same page together. You are making decisions. You consult them. You don't impose on them. They have opinions as small as they are, you know, except they are really, really still super small. But if they are grown already, they have an opinion. you collaborate together. Even if he's going to cook in the kitchen, you can ask. This one I was asking my children, what do we eat? Beans or mwemwe? You know, the majority had it. Collaboration, synergize. That is what it is talking about. Okay, our last topic is sharpen the saw. Sharpen the saw. So Coach Angela, she said she is still on synergy, so which means she has not finished it. So
Yes.
Coach Idan, do you want
So
to?
sharpening the saw. All right, ma. So sharpening the saw is about renew our vision, our commitment, something that the family will do together to ensure that the bond of love is not broken. That's the way I want to put it. And you know, at the
Yeah.
Visionary Parents Academy, we talk about family traditions. And one of the author talks about birthdays, using that opportunity to celebrate every member of the family. And before he talks about that, he says something, anything that is not consciously attended to and renew will break down. And that is the truth. So if we don't do things intentionally to ensure that there is something we do together, like I love to say that most families today have issue after the demise of their parents because there is no tradition. If there is a tradition, most family will remain united after the demise of the parents. There is something they do together, maybe on a quarterly basis, annual basis, or biannual. This thing will be sustained because it has become a tradition. If during birthday of one person of a member of the family, you have something you do together, but maybe you put on you do a conference call to be able to celebrate with one another. If the distance doesn't permit you to show up physically, thank God for technology at this time. So that can be done. And if we do not have this in place, before you know what is happening, the whole system will break down because over time, everybody will feel that everybody will be minding their business. You know, the
Yeah.
children will not remain children, just like we love to say. And at a particular stage, the family will have grown. If there is no tradition
Yeah.
to sustain it, everybody will be busy, everybody will continue with their life. And before you know what is
Yeah.
happening, it will look like we don't have family again. And that is already happening to so
Yeah.
many people, such that the moment they get married, they don't have extended family again. They don't have anything that brings them together with their sibling. So that is sharpening the saw. You do not, and one thing is that we don't need something so costly to be able to sharpen this saw. We don't need it. If our children are still young, thank God, holiday time is a good time to create, to make sure that, but even without the holiday, weekends, that's why we have bonding time as a family. Bonding time. Creating that time is a time, it can be that you want to watch movie together. It can be that you just want to visit a friend together. And you know, this thing should go beyond, because that chapter also talks about beyond our nuclear family to go to the extended. You see that we have situation at hand of recent whereby cousins, second cousins, they get married to one another. Why? Because they do not know one another. Nothing is bringing them together to be able to know what is up with one another. So if we have things like that, there will not be such mistake coming in. So it is very important to create time for us to be able to have family activities that will transit to a family tradition that can be sustained even after we are gone, even as parents. All right, ma.
Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you. Yes, that is what sharpen the saw is just talking about. They gave an illustration about a story of two men who were actually trying to fall a wood, or is it fell a wood they call it, you know. One was rest at intervals, the other one will keep cutting.
Yes.
At some point, the one that was resting finished. finished before the one that was that cut continuously. So the one that cut continuously asked the other one, but you always rested. How come you finished before me? And the other one said, what you didn't notice was that each time I rested, I sharpened my saw. So when I sharpened my saw, yes, I sharpened my saw, and that actually made it easy for me to keep, made my cutting less struggle, make it easier. That is it. Sharpen your saw. Anything you are doing, you are expected to refill. Sharpening your saw simply means refilling. At any given time, you are expected to refill. Refill mentally, refill spiritually, refill physically, refill intellectually. Like people that come to academy, it's not as if they don't know it. It's not as if they are completely ignorant, but they want to refill. They want to be in a community where they are constantly learning. That is refilling. Now, even in your family, you also need to continuously refill in your family. So how do you refill in your family? That was what Kojinadu talked about. Creating special times to bond, creating special activities, just creating memories. Refilling simply means you want your family to be rooted in love, in harmony, in unity. So your refilling is doing those things continuously that will make your family to be rooted in those things you want your family to be rooted in. Continuously doing that thing, continuously, create pocket time, pocket avenues for you to keep doing that. Let's talk about tradition. There's very important ways to bond family together. So sharpen your saw. On your journey, you keep sharpening your saw. In fact, you don't even wait for your saw to become blunt or dull. As you go on, structure your family time, structure your family in such a manner that refilling is just there. Sometimes you are not hungry before you eat. You don't get hungry. You just feel you want to eat. The same you want to drink water. You don't wait till you get super thirsty. You are past shore before you drink water. The same thing happens to refilling. Deliberately create family time. Deliberately create activities that build memories together, especially towards your vision. Towards your vision. If you're a lifelong learner as a family, for example, you know that you are going to create time to continuously learn together as a family, continuously learn together as a family. If you want your family to be united in love, bonded, you have to keep deliberately create time for opportunities for that bond to keep firing. After all, neurons that fire together, wire together. Okay, that's just an aside, emotional intelligence class. Okay, so sharpen your saw means you want to keep sharpening your saw. Whatever your vision is, whatever your mission statement is, you have to create a structure that constantly takes it on the journey. For example, you have a spiritual vision. You want to raise children who love God, who are sold out to God and all of that. So sharpening your saw simply means that you are going to key into very many Christian activities all of the time. You are not going to relax. It's not like, you have it in mind once in a while. No, you are going to continuously looking for a higher way for your family to be deeper into that vision. So these are the 7 habits of highly effective families. And the last one is from survivor to stability, to success, to significance. So we are not going to go into that. You are going to read that for yourself. We have been very generous. We have reviewed from habit 1 to habit 7. So we are just leaving one for you, and of course the introduction for you. If you have any question, do where to ask. If you have any question, do where to ask, because we are about wrapping up. Somebody say, in the time of ignorance, we always feel being in charge or how to express parental dominance is to ignore the feelings of our children. Absolutely. We ignore their feelings. Assumption is the lowest form of knowledge. True. Assumption is the lowest form of knowledge. It has been very interesting. It has been very beautiful. It has been a very good one. I have learned a lot from all the coaches that reviewed this book with us. Oh, Coach Angela, I didn't know you are still with us. I've learned a lot from all the coaches that reviewed this. I've learned a lot from all the coaches that reviewed this book with us. And this book, I want to tell you that is a must read for every family. So go get your copy. This is my hard copy, and you can also get the e-copy and you read and carry out. One thing I always say in the Visionary Parents Academy is not just to listen, it's to apply. If you listen, you don't apply, you are not going to go anywhere. So please listen and apply. The habits are very, very practical. Like I said at the beginning of this class, it's just a summary that families that succeed, effective families, they actually have principles they live by. They are not random. They're not random. No, they are not controlled by impulse. They are controlled by structure. They are controlled by proactivity. They know what they want. They are controlled by their vision, by their mission. They know exactly where they are going to. And that is what determines everything they do. It is not just a mood thing. When you're angry, you say yes. When you're angry, you say no. When you're not angry, you say yes. No. You know exactly what you are going to. Thank you so much, Coach. You have any other thing to say?
No, ma.
Okay, thank you. Coach Angela, you want to wrap up for us? Can you hear me, ma'am? Okay, I think she's background. She cannot really hear me. She cannot really hear me. Coach Angela, I was asking, do you have any last word for us?
I can't hear.
Oh, I didn't add you. Can you imagine? I didn't know I didn't add you. I'm so sorry. I didn't know I didn't add you.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, I said that it's really been a privilege coming here to read this book. I think because I knew I was going to come, and when I saw my name, I have to sit up and although the way I read my book, when I read, I have to read again. I have to go back and read again. Probably that was why I didn't finish it. But I want to thank you for recommending this book. I've learned so much, and we go through it again. And I want to admonish every parent that if they've not gone through this book, that they should really find time to read this book. Even though it's big, it's a big book, but they can speed read it.
Yeah.
And just as you said in one of your posts, that parents that don't believe in investing in parenting, they can take this book and they will still learn a whole lot from this book. I pray God will help us in our parenting journey.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Thank you. This book is one of the most invaluable resources you can have on parenting, aside Gifted Hands. Gifted Hands and these books, I think they are on the same level. If you know that Gifted Hands, I don't play with it. Thank you so much, Coach Jinadu. Thank you so much, Coach Angela. I appreciate you. Let's do this again next month. So today we are going to share the book we are reading for the month, and by the end of next month, we are also going to come here and review our book together. Even if you are not in the Visionary Parent Academy, feel free to join us in our book review. If you want to join us in the Visionary Parent Academy, please join us now, because we have till the end of March to take registration. After the end of March, no more registration. So join us quickly before we close the doors for registration. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, ma. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.